What's up, mother foxers? Alright. In order to get the interior done, hey look, there's a fly dead on my package tray. That's cool. We gotta get the headliner done. So I gotta turn my attention back to this nightmare. I made some mistakes. Now we're gonna fix them. Alright, this is what I did. I used tape on this. Right after I did this, I was watching the video. I never watched those videos to the end when I was looking to do this. I just kind of got the gist of what they were doing and did it. But then after I did this, I watched the end of some of the videos, and they're putting hot glue in it. And it made a lot of sense to me, you know, so I set this aside while I did some other stuff. And what didn't help was we were painting the truck and pushed the car out there. We thought this was secure on top of the roof, but the wind caught it. I mean, it didn't flip it over or anything. I think it just kept, you know, floating it until it just slid off the car and on the ground. So, but also when I was doing this with this tape on there, you take fingernail clippers and clip them. Yeah, I was clipping them flush. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to leave a little bit hang. So some of these I'm gonna have to push back through and then hot glue them. Some of them, a lot of these right here, I think this is the spot where I started to clip them a little longer. So they should be fine. And all I gotta do is just drop some hot glue in there. Keep all that together. I got this, that tape came off, so I'm gonna have to do something about keeping that up there. That's gonna go down the what do you call that? The B pillar, the C pillar, whatever, right there. Right there. But it's gonna be on the driver's side. And then when it's gonna hook up to the box, the light box that it hooks up to in the trunk, but it plugs into a cigarette lighter. So I got my amp power running to the back. So I'll just put a little box back there, a little distribution box, and run a wire off it in a cigarette lighter and plug it in, and then you can just turn it on and off with the remote. So, but yeah, let me go. I don't know what I'm gonna really do with this video. I'll just throw the camera up there on a time lapse and just let it go and play it or interrupt it sometimes. I don't know. So this is just, I'm not looking forward to doing this. It's 150 lights, and you can get these a lot more lights, but 150 is way too many. So a lot of these, fortunately, all I gotta do is just stick some glue in there and they're done. But some of them I have to poke back through, and they're not easy to poke through because you're poking through this, a piece of 1/4 inch foam, and then this, which this stuff, you just can't push these through this material. You have to have a hole through it. So anyway, let me get onto that. And got some glue sticks here. I had a black one in there. I don't know what black will do to this with those light tubes, so I purged it. For some white stuff here, but I don't know. These are like fiber optic light tubes, so it shouldn't matter. I mean, there's black on here, but then again, the back side of this isn't black, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna glue. Okay, so I got this thing plugged in. One thing I was worried about was hot glue and this little plastic tubing. Yeah. I started noticing it when I was like doing this one. I'm not sure if this is shining in that hole right there. I can't really tell from, it's hard to see where this is and try to figure out which light it is when you can't move it, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out which one this is, because when I heated this up to anchor it, because I'm doing these little anchor points, you know, on some of these, this thing was up in the air, and then I hit it and it moved like it was melting. I'm like, no. So that's when I went and plugged that thing in and seen what was working and what's not. And the way this light is refracting off these tubes is weird. Like, you can see light in here, but is it in there? And I can't tell underneath. So this is a problem I was anticipating, but it's going all right so far. A lot of the ones, a couple of them that weren't pushed through, guys, I was able to get it to push through. You mess with it a little bit, it'll pop through there. It's not the simplest of tasks, but here we are. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure this one out right now, but I was also trying to go ahead and see if this stuff is still working on a lot of it, and it is. So we'll see. Hopefully I don't melt these things and they work like they're supposed to. So. That was about a 30-second time lapse, and well, I don't know, it's probably about 2 hours of work. And it wasn't even all of it. So anyway, I got half of this thing done. This whole half is all done. I'm leaving the tape there because it's actually doing a good job holding it. It's just the problem is when it was by the hole, it wasn't holding it in the hole, you know what I'm saying? It was just kind of bent there and wasn't just totally capped off like these are. So, but it's still helping holding it down, and it's cool because when I put some of these on here, I just diverted some of the other tubes over and just hit it in the glue. So now they're sitting, you know, attached. So my butt is a little tired, so I'm gonna call it a day. At least I got half of it done, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that stool, it's not bad when you're on it for a few minutes, but it'll make your balls numb. Just saying, that's the issue I'm having. Anyway. Yeah, it's hurting my ass too. Anywho, because you're constantly sitting on it. Anyway, you don't need bigger problems about my ass. Anyway. Just take it from me, it's hard on the tuchus, man, when you're sitting there for freaking 2 hours or whatever doing this. But not to mention your arms, because you're constantly like reaching in one with this side and that side. Your shoulders get kind of tired from doing it. But anyway, we're doing good, man. These are in there. If you look underneath here, you'll see them. Some of them popping out further than others, but there's some I just had to pop back through there real quick and just glue. But half of it's done. All right, folks, it is exactly a week later, and I got the rest of this done. It's all done. Everything's done. Remember, I had the tape across here in the middle. That was because of that support beam that's in the ceiling. You don't want these things rubbing on that, so that's why I covered those up. But I got this body shop film that you put on cars so you can't scratch the surface or anything. I got a big thing. I think I'm gonna put that over the top of this to protect it all. And yeah, we'll get it in the car. Let me flip this over here, plug it in, and see what it looks like. Of course, I haven't trimmed anything underneath it, so they're all sticking out there in weird ways. Here we go. You see them? I don't know if this thing's picking them up very well or not. There they are. Some of these are going to be trimmed. Some of them are I'm just going to leave them. Like, obviously, the short ones I'm just going to leave. But yeah, you got some shorties over here. They're just going to stay. These long ones, obviously, we're going to trim them up. And I'll do that. and then we'll come back. And you can use a pair of toenail clippers or, you know, pair of dikes. I want to cut them off flush, so just gonna leave a little bit out top there. So let me go ahead and get these and we'll be done. Alright, I think you can see the white light. Of course I could have put it to like green or something, you probably would have seen it better. Some stars are brighter than others. Well, that's true in the universe, right? There's my excuse. What it is, it ends up being, guys, is these things bending a certain way, and the way that glue refracts on some of these is just not making them, some of them not bright, but not a big deal. I mean, you can still see them. It's meant to be seen in the dark anyway. It's not like it's gonna be on all day, and it's just a fun little thing I did. It's nothing serious or anything. But every one of them are working. Like I said, some are brighter than others, and it's hard to see and translate it on camera, especially daytime. But we got the lights off in here, so there it is. But that's it. We got it fixed. I'll put that film on the back side of this to keep it all good and stuff, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start putting it in the car. But I got one little issue with that, and that is I got the money to fix my truck. So I got parts coming in the next couple of days, and we got to start tearing into my truck. So watched a couple of 4-part series on it. Guy was very thorough. These VTC engines, man, just variable timing control, you know, they're not that bad. After seeing that video, I'm not too scared about it. So there's a tool you get that makes sure that it's in timing. We'll get into that later. But I got the money to get for those parts, and they're on their way, and that's probably what the next video will be, is me fixing my truck. So I gotta tear the whole front of the engine apart. So anyway, guys, we get that thing on the road. I mean, dude, I love these cars. I love driving them. They're so much fun, but these newer trucks drive like Cadillacs. I just want a comfortable ride on the way to work. Not in those every day. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with some EcoBoost content. Later.